Okay, so I did get a few items from a website or business, I guess you want to call it, called Chewy. So there's been some animals that have come by where I live. It's definitely, significant adjustment to me mentally to figure out how, and financially, definitely financially. Uh, and, the fact that I live with somebody who, in their home. So just trying to navigate it all. There's several restrictions that make it difficult, um, but I'm still going to see what I can do. Um, but yeah, so I did get a few things from Chewy. I thought I'd show you guys. So Chewy has a lot of good deals. Everything, almost everything, not everything, but almost everything I have looked at the cost of things, and almost everything I've seen, that I've also seen in actual stores, um, it costs less in general on Chewy, even if it's just a few dollars less versus in the stores. So I got these they're cats. I don't know if I mentioned the animals that are in the area. So they came by maybe about a month or two ago. There's no collars on them. They seem somewhat friendly to humans. Like, you know, in the beginning, I had to stay far, far away. Uh, but the first one, Duke, took maybe a few days. The other one, Duchess, took, maybe about a week or something. There's another one, Drew. She or he, I don't know the genders or the ages, but the um, last one, yeah, I have to I can kind of stand nearby, but there definitely has to be some distance. So she's not as comfortable even being around, I think, humans and animals, because I noticed um, Duke and Duchess, they kind of got along well together within maybe a few weeks or so, but they won't really hang around Drew, the last one. And Drew has been coming, less often, so maybe it's just that she doesn't feel the safest with the other animals. I don't know. There's no safety issues as far as I know. No, like, major attacks. Sometimes, like, Duke and Duchess will wrestle with each other, or, one of them will kind of swat each other. Um, Sometimes a little bit too hard, and it seems from my view, but um, it just. Duke and Duchess, I feel like they're not. Duchess is, almost as sweet as can be. She's never even swatted at any of them. Um, but I feel like Duke, she just defends herself and her food and stuff like that. But so I don't think she's really violent. It's just, defensive, and sometimes it's just, um, light swatches, or what's a word that I used? Light swatting. Anyway, so that's the context, the background. So on the haul, this is the brand Temptations, and I've seen this basically everywhere I've went. This is a very common brand for cat treats, dry cat treats, and they've got several flavors. This is one of them. I did get a seafood one. I got um, another kind before. Let's see, I know they have seafood, salmon, chicken flavored, and they have another one that's like has dairy and I guess a little bit of it, and then there's another one. It's kind of like a combination of all of them, um, or I don't know. It's a blend of some stuff. So I did get that. I find that Walmart has the best deal on these by far. On Chewy, this was, a few dollars more than the one from Walmart. Um, I believe this is like the bigger size, but I could be wrong. Kind of, I guess, what we would call the family size. Then I got for the wet food Fancy Feast. Sometimes I give them a can, sometimes they get like half a can each, sometimes even less than that because I find that the dry food cost way less over time than the wet food, unfortunately. So, yeah, I have some Fancy Feast, but I'm trying to transition them just because of my financial, and it's easier to be quite frank, but my financial situation, yeah, I can't constantly get a lot of these cans and because they're like $1 something each individually, and sometimes in a set you can find them for a little bit less, but even in a case, if you do the math, they're about $1 something. Chewy, there might be a slight discount, like a few bucks or so, but um, I think there's a slightly significant discount relative to the big box stores on Chewy. But yeah, this is the Fancy Feast, so I get the Fancy Feast sometimes. And then I got from Chewy. So from Chewy, I did get the Fancy Feast this time. And I also got the Sheba um, thing. They come in, I don't know if I have one to kind of show you guys. It's very interesting. It's a neat design. I think it's very smart. Excuse anything that you might see. I love this design. You essentially get like a full, I mean, I think the cans you get a bit more, but you get a full serving size if you want to call it that, but they're divided in two. And I think that's great because I noticed some animals, they don't eat that much at once. So, like, for instance, yesterday, because Duke and Duchess, they were both like, I was trying to feed Duchess at first, and then Duke, she's done this several times. He comes over and takes over if he wants something. So Duchess was eating, and then he came over and was clearly interested. And he kind of walked around Duchess, sniffed around, and then sort of walked away to the side a bit. But what was I trying to say? Basically, sometimes the animals don't eat a full can. So, yeah, I don't have I'm not really, I can freeze them, but maybe, but I have a feeling I'm not really allowed to. So if I do freeze it, it has to be very, short term. So I think this is a great solution because sometimes they don't finish the can. So, like from yesterday, I have about half of it left over. Um, so I'll be giving that today. The only thing I don't like is when you fold these, you have to make sure you fold it all the way. Otherwise, you can get a lot of leaks, or it's it's just interesting how it turns out. So you have to make sure you fold it very well, and then you can easily tear down the middle, usually where the dotted squares are. So there's that. Then I got this from Chewy. They're like toys. Comes with two of them, which now I intertwined. So, for instance, so it comes without like it comes with a few things individually, like the feathers, the uh, basically what does it come with? And I think this was under $20. So it's kind of an interactive toy. We'll see if they like it. I learned it's not really worth it to waste too much money on animals unless you know that. I mean, of course you will, but when it comes to toys, unless you know that they are interested. But we'll see. So basically, it comes with this rod, and you can also extend it so you can make it longer. Um, Basically, this is the additional length you can get. So, and then you can just shove that, or no, Okay, I guess maybe there's several layers. So that's how it looks initially. Then I tried to extend it. So I guess the extension is, it can go that far. So there's like, I think there's, two extensions, because there's this section and then there's that section. So you see those two silver rods, yeah. And then it comes with this, I don't know, hook, whatever you would call it, this thing. And so the rod itself, it comes with sort of a keychain kind of thing. So in the, when you order this item, you do get the rod as I articulated it. It comes with this, thing attached. And then you also get these things individually. So you attach these things individually to the hook. It was relatively easy. I wish the keychain thingy, there's like a little handle. So I wish that was easier to use. It's a little awkward, but yeah, it's going to be very hard to do it with one hand. But so yeah, it wasn't that hard to navigate. You can attach one, you can attach more than one. So I like the flexibility. So, here's some more attachments that you can get. It looks like there's a snake, or what is that, a bird? A bird, of feathers. And then if you have your own stuff, they also came with uh, like something to where if you have your own little attachments, you can still attach it to the keychain. Where did it go? It came with something else. So there's a lot of flexibility, and you get two rods. I didn't choose any of the colors as far as the attachments or even on the handle. So I just got a red one and a black one by coincidence. And, same with the attachments. I think when you do order, it does have the attachments listed so you can see images. I don't know where it went. So there's those that I got. There is these treats, the delectables, which I've talked about. Excuse the mess, it is what it is. These delectables, these are wet treats in a tube, and they've got different flavors. I did see, I don't know if it's a Chewy kind of off-brand, but there's a tube that looks similar. The brand is called Churro, or Chew, I don't know, it starts with a C, and they do have that one on Chewy, and it is more affordable, I noticed. You do save, significant amount of money, I would say. I don't know, maybe it's about $20 less, maybe $20 savings. Maybe you save a little bit more, a little bit less. I forgot the exact amount, but not only does it cost less, but you get more. Very much so if you do the value set, because these ones, when I ordered this recent haul that I'm talking about, so I think, so today's Monday, so last week on Friday is when I did the order, and then I know it was on Saturday, and then it was, the order was submitted on Friday, then I got my delivery on Saturday. So it was really quick, within less than 24 hours. So what did I receive? Some of the stuff, the delectables, these handles, these, toys essentially, the treats. I got a few flavors of the treats, the dry treats. So these are wet treats. And they just have a thing you tear right over here. Quite easy to navigate. You don't need scissors usually, but sometimes you don't tear exactly correctly and you do need them. And then I got the wet food, the Fancy Feast, as I described. Uh, so these two things, um, I got a few cases of the Fancy Feast, and then I got a case of these things. And then the flavors are for the Fancy Feast were I got kind of the variety case. So I had chicken, beef, um, kind of a seafood, white fish. What do they call it? Let me see. Um, don't want to show you guys the mess. So flavors for this one is ocean, whitefish, tuna. Then they have chicken with this one. What do they call this? Fancy Feast. So I bought a case of this. The brand is Fancy Feast, and in that variety case, the flavors were ocean, whitefish, tuna. Then it was chicken was in there, beef, and turkey gravy. Um, then I got this from Sheba, and the flavors were beef, chicken. Let me look to see what the other ones were. Turkey. Yeah. What I like about, what's good about the service with Chewy is that they've got all sorts of sizes when it comes to a lot of their stuff, flavors, when it comes to the wet food, they've got all sorts of flavors, sizes. You could just stick with one flavor, and you might be able to get cans individually. I don't know. But at least you can get, smaller cases, larger. You can choose which. You can get like a case of just a single flavor. You could get a case of a few flavors, So you can find something both size wise that fits and, flavor wise. I do like the quick delivery. Customer service relative to what's out there now was excellent. Um, they give you like tracking information, which is nice. So it's quite, the communication in that way is good. But I wish they gave you like an estimate time, which they didn't. Also, really don't like, this is why I may not order that much in the future. Well, finances, of course, but even if that weren't an issue, my living situation, I don't like things being delivered here. And so I tried using another address, and it would not let me. I was not able to submit the order successfully with that address. So they're kind of choosy about addresses, because I guess there was, issues lately of the original address I wanted to use was of another facility. So it's like a service that offers kind of like FedEx or whatever. You can rent out a mailbox, and then you get things delivered. Of course, it costs money, and then you grab your your boxes, whatever is sent there. You grab it at your own leisure. Um, so I guess at that facility there were customers who were selling their would like buy items from them and then sell it. So obviously they don't want that. So because they saw the address of a facility that, they've had issues with from other individuals, that was flagged in the system, and they thought that, my account could have been doing that. So that was a whole issue, and, stressful and everything. That I really did not enjoy, but the customer service did their best to figure it out. I had to call, it took hours to figure out the whole issue. And so, yeah, I don't like the fact that, certain addresses will cancel your order and maybe even lock out your whole account, and then you may be able to get it fixed, you may not. I don't like that you're limited when it comes to what address you can use to submit your order, within a relative short amount of time. So most likely you would have to use a home address. So for me and others in difficult living environments, non-flexible, let's say, that could be an issue. So that's a big, big negative for me. So yeah, I don't know if I'll be ordering from them again, maybe. But now I have enough stuff for the animals, food wise, definitely for many months, maybe half a year, maybe longer, because, I got dry food, wet food, and so we'll see. I'm definitely not ordering until I finish, until at least half of the stuff is finished. Um, so yeah, um, I'll be honest, I don't have the funds whatsoever to do this. I've, gone into considerable debt just for this, and I do have some debt as well. To me, it's considerable. Like, I don't know if I did the right thing. I feel like generally I did. I tried to wait. I tried to, analyze everything and make good decisions, but animals, they cost money. So initially, from the beginning, again, they've been here on and off for about a month, 2 months. So very much so, mainly recently, but from the time they've been here, how much money I have used on them, and some of the items they don't even bother, like the toys and stuff. They're very choosy when it comes to that, but cost me about, I would say, $1,000 or so. I would say about $800 as an initial investment, and then, the rest was, I guess, food. Or I tried calculating. So yeah, it's costly. The good thing is that for a few months at least, I shouldn't have to buy anything. Um, so yeah, I can't afford to do this, to be quite frank. And if it gets too costly, um, I may have to, allow them to live somewhere else. I don't know if they were living with someone else originally, like before they came here, but they don't have a caller. None of them do. So, um, yeah, donations would be very, very nice. Very nice. Um, I've got a lot of clutter. Not necessarily a lot of stuff, but a lot of clutter of just my own stuff. And I can't really, folks are going to judge, but I was thinking I would, because I did start a GoFundMe for them. I was thinking I could use the mailing address maybe that I've been using, not my home address, but the other one, the facility. And if folks want to send actual items, they can. Um, I don't really think I can do that at the moment because I have nowhere. Like, I've got some things coming in, and I don't know how I'm going to find somewhere for them to go. So um, I just don't have the room whatsoever. I'm considering somehow trying to get a storage unit, and I need a used vehicle because I don't have one, like used or unused. I don't have a vehicle. So, for myself and for the animals, I could really use some donations. Um, there is a GoFundMe for all of us, but mainly for them. And I have details and everything else. Um, so, yeah, as far as the food stuff, and I think it's mainly food that I've got